Hi, this is Gabriel Castro from exoticwoodpen.com. Thank you for watching and welcome back to my shop. We're going to do part 3 now. Okay, where we left off, this is the lower end. I did relieve the edges so it's not so square, and on the cap I need pretty much that much room there when I do the clip. The clip is going to also be made out of this is half of a 50 caliber steampunk shell, so you can see the T section on top. That's going to go on there on top, and it's going to fix right there with screws like that. So it's going to come pretty close to the bottom of the cap. So it's actually a large cap. But the lower end, although it looks small, for the bottom end of the plunger assembly, that block is going to go on the end over there. It's going to be threaded on the inside and then glued on the plunger end. So then and also the cap. Let me back up for a second here. I use a 1-inch section because it's comfortable for my hand. Plus the jowl number 6 is an inch long, and that's about 3/8 of an inch. So that you need a lot of room on the inside, so that makes it a longer cap. So it may look a little distorted size-wise when you look at the length of it, but it's actually pretty good once you get the feel of it. And this one is not going to be postable. But anyway, you get the basic idea. Okay, so here's the pen with the siphon or the piston filling system. You see how that's sticking out the end right there. So let me bottom that out. That's not going to stick out a little bit because the O-ring is not inside there. I still have to modify a tool so that I can screw that in and make it tight with the O-ring in. But with that set in there like that, and you can retract that back and forth, this needs to be threaded to fit in there like that. So that we'll do next. Okay, I just did a small test drill, and that's a 3/16 for that right there to fit in there. So I just want to be sure. So I'll just need to get a metal 3/16 inch bit, because I don't want the brad point, because I want it as flat on the bottom on the inside as much as possible. Okay, so I got a mark right here on my drill bit, 3/16. I'm going to drill the entire length of this first, and then I'll re-drill and tap for the threads after the fact. And then I want those threads or that hole to be dry. I don't want to use any lubricant on that. So I'm going to use some medium or probably some thin CA to make sure, you know, that'll look clear once I use that on the inside. So using a 21/64, I'm going to go just right about there. Maybe a little bit deeper I need to, just in case. So I have a little bit of room on that plunger. Just so to that first line, and then let's get that going. Now I'm going back to the M9x5 bottoming tap. This is the same tap we used on the opposite end of the pen blank here. I'm just going to put a little lubricant right there. I don't want to put lubricant on the inside because I don't want it to go all the way back to the bottom. Just want to make it so that that cuts but doesn't crack. Let's see how that looks. Okay, this piece is in here. It's been faced flat. Now I have the plunger extending out a little bit, and I'm just going to screw that in. So that's a solid connection there. Okay, I made a small holding jig right here out of some scrap ebonite that I had. It's double start threaded to match the end that holds the section. And you can see the silhouette on the inside of the piston mechanism. I'm just going to round this out to an outside diameter of 5/8 of an inch. So the line I'm cutting on the left side and the right side, I'm cutting down to 1/2 inch thick, and then I'll clean it out in the middle. Okay, so there's that part right there turned down, and this area here is where I'm going to apply all my steampunk gears and such. Now it's just taking this apart without this cracking. That's why I also wear rubber gloves, so I can grip better. So there's the lower section, and I'm going to leave this end heavy because after I apply all this, I'm going to put some tape from here to here, and then I'll put it inside a piece of Teflon to hold it in position, as well as on this side. So I just need to do this for the cap, and you can see the interior piece in there and how that looks. So this is the lower part, and then the next time you see this, we'll be working on applying gears. So now to the upper. Okay, so for the cap, I want an interior, like the gully is going to be 5/8 of an inch. So I'm just going to round this off, and once it gets round, then I'm going to do the interior for 5/8. so this is my spacer set for 5/8 of an inch, and you can see that there's not much room on the inside of that cap from the 11/6 or the 33/64, so it's going to be very, very thin on the inside, the distance between the cap, the interior gap. So I'm going to have to be very careful. And then the 1/8 inch gap that I'm using there, that's my spacer from one side to the other, so I know I'm balanced where I'm going to be as I'm turning. So I know the bottom of the cap is here, so I'm going to make a shallow line there and then step it over one so that I know where I'm at. That way it looks balanced. And from where the cap is, or the clip is going to be, once the clip is attached, I want there to be about a little bit of a gap underneath that. Like I said earlier, I'm using my 1/8 inch parting tool, and I'm cutting over 1/8 of an inch and down to a depth of 5/8 of an inch. And then I'm going to switch out this wooden mandrel to a homemade ebonite mandrel that I used. So there's my thickness. Okay, this is a piece of ebony that's threaded on the outside. The double star threads. Okay, so that's enough for today. So next time we come back, we'll start applying all the gears.